never sleep. You got V12, I got 12 V. Got bottles, got more. Shorty, what you want? I got what you need. Shorty, what you want? I got what you need. Shorty, what you want? I got what you need.
It is time here on WUB Network for a presentation of Super Bowl 12. It is going to be a great day today, and it is time for our Nabisco pregame show. I am Eddie Kalegi. Super Bowl 12 broadcasted right here on WUB Network, and it will be the Seattle Seahawks battling the Tennessee Titans here from NRG Stadium in Houston. What a year for both these teams, and what a performance in the conference championships for both these teams as we take a quick look back at those two games just 2 weeks ago. First for Seattle, Russell Wilson shocked everybody and still played, even though he had suffered a bad shoulder injury the week before, and battled the Packers and got a 14-12 victory for the Seahawks and got them into the Super Bowl. The Titans stunned the Patriots late with a big interception late in the game, and they beat New England 32-30 in Foxborough to make it to their second Super Bowl in 7 seasons. The Titans just 9-7 this season as we look at the schedules for both these teams this year and how they performed. First, taking a look at the Titans. It's just such a big shock to the system that the Titans, at a 9-7 mark in the regular season, were able to get past Houston first, then win back-to-back playoff games on the road in Pittsburgh and in New England and get in. As we just look through their schedule this season, they lost opening week to Jacksonville, then they beat Baltimore. They alternated wins and losses for the first 6 games of the year. Then they had a 4-game win streak where they beat the Texans, Colts, Bengals, and Thunderbirds. Had a 40-point loss to the Falcons mixed in there. And late in the season, they lost 3 out of their last 4 after being up at 7-4. Lost tough ones to New Orleans, Indianapolis, and Houston the last week of the season, but ended up winning 3 in a row and getting to the Super Bowl. Then as we look at the Seahawks and how they performed this season, of course, a 13-3 regular season. They ended up dominating the 12-4 regular season, pardon me. They ended up dominating at one point as they were able to nail a 7-game winning streak starting after week 9 when they lost to the Cowboys 23-6. But after starting 1-2 with tough divisional losses to San Francisco and Arizona, they nailed off a 4-game win streak, beating Atlanta, the Giants, and the Browns and the Bengals. Then they lost to Dallas, then beat Baltimore, Los Angeles, Washington, the Eagles, Los Angeles again, Chicago, and San Francisco before falling in Week 17 to Arizona. Got the bye for the wild card playoffs. Then divisional playoff game, stunned the Cowboys 37-35, and wrapped it up with a conference championship victory over the Packers 14-12. So as we continue to take a look here, and of course last night was also the NFL Honors, and the MVP was Tom Brady. He won the MVP. He also won AFC Offensive Player of the Year. NFC Offensive Player of the Year was Jonathan Stewart. Defensive Players of the Year, John Beeson. In the NFC, in the AFC, it was Lamar Woodley. Then Offensive Rookie of the Year in the NFC first was Carson Wentz. It was very close between him and Ezekiel Elliott. Carson Wentz got the nod. And in the AFC, your Offensive Rookie of the Year was a tough one, and it ended up being Latavius Murray of the Oakland Raiders. And then Coach of the Year was a good battle for the AFC. Of course, you thought it would be the coach of Tennessee, but Bill Belichick, still another great year for the Patriots in the regular season. NFC Coach of the Year, Pete Carroll, leading the Seahawks to the Super Bowl. So, as we look at the statistics for the Seahawks and the Titans this season. Some very good performances for both of these teams throughout the year. If you first look at Seattle, passing-wise, what a great year from Russell Wilson. 3165 in yards, 23 touchdowns, 15 picks. Both Charlie Whitehurst and J.P. Lozman got some time at the QB. Running the ball, remember they lost a couple guys to injury. Thomas Rawls got hurt. Robert Turbin's been the big guy along with the veteran Ahmad Bradshaw, who has 10 touchdowns this year. Receiving-wise, Doug Baldwin has 1,200 receiving yards and 6 touchdowns. Defensively this year, their sack leader was a meaty, healthy 5 from Raheem Brock and Chris Clemens. Interception leader was 7 for Earl Thomas. And when you turn to the Titans end of the spectrum, of course, Seneca Wallace got a few attempts this season, but it was Marcus Mariota mainly. 3,475 yards, 30 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. And one thing, he was sacked 41 times. Rushing-wise, DeMarco Murray in his first year with the Titans proved to be a big piece on this team. 1,115 rush yards and 5 touchdowns. The reigning runner-up in the Heisman, rookie Derrick Henry out of Alabama, also added 355 yards and 2 touchdowns in his rookie campaign as the backup. Receiving-wise, Kendall Wright, nearly the 1,000-yard mark receiving. He got 979 and 9 touchdowns, but he is dealing with an injury and will not be available for the Super Bowl. Andre Johnson playing his final NFL game. He'll be available. Austin Seferian-Jenkins, Nate Washington, and others will be available. Defensively for the Titans, overall their tackle leader was Stephen Tulloch with 120. Sacks, 15 this year from Jason Babin, 13 from Dave Ball, 7 from Tony Brown. No one else, and Vincent Fuller with 2. Nobody else had more than 1. It was mainly the big year from Jason Babin. Interceptions, 5 for Alteron Werner this season. Defensive touchdowns, just 1, and it was a Cortland Finnegan pick 6. Earl Thomas with 2 pick 6s this year. Richard Thurman with a pick 6 and a Tremaine Brock scoop and score are the 4 defensive touchdowns for the Seahawks this season. So that's just about going to wrap it up here on the NFL Super Bowl 12 pregame show. Last year it was a blowout in the Super Bowl. The Packers and the Bengals. Wasn't even close. 38-9, the Packers dominated. What will happen this season? We will see you for the start of Super Bowl 12 here on WUB Westinghouse Universal Broadcasting Network.